In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show.
Katt Williams has continuously been dishing out all of the dirty laundry that Hollywood has to offer. Katt was publicly condemned by Kevin a few years ago for allowing his addiction to damage his career by pinning the blame for his misfortunes on everyone but himself. This comes after Kevin had publicly reprimanded Katt for this. Shannon Sharpe conducted an interview with Katt that was both passionate and open. In the conversation, Katt accused Kevin of selling his soul and integrity to fame. He also stated that Kevin was even compelled to go through the humiliating process of cosplaying as a gay male. Evidently, Katt is at long last prepared to provide a response to those allegations. However, this is not the first time that Katt has made the accusations that Kevin is a power-hungry guy who has sold his soul in order to get where he is. Nevertheless, this time he did not keep anything back and openly recounted all of the odd and awful things that Kevin had done in order to earn notoriety and influence without any hesitation. He did not hold anything back. On the other side, Kevin is now fed up with Katt for continuously chasing him, and he is retaliating in the most barbaric manner imaginable by threatening to sue him for slander. Kevin is now threatening to sue Katt for defamation. According to the conversation that Kevin had with Filth, which took place within a short period of time before to the beginning of the year 2024, Kevin is going to have a very difficult year ahead of him. When the year 2024 arrives, each and every one of these majorly deviant individuals will be sent to hell. Absolutely everyone has a shot at winning, regardless of who conducted the act or who you are. Any and all lies will be exposed, whether it be TG, Jakes, or any of them. This is true regardless of who perpetrated the deed. Exactly that is it. And every single person who has a negative reaction to that is conscious of the reasons why they have such a terrible reaction to it.
Chris Rock, where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously?
During a 3-hour interview with Shannon Sharpe, Katt Williams pretty well brought the house down. This is in case you were somehow naive to all the drama that has took place over the previous several days. Upon the first announcement of the interview, many people had a presumption that Katt would simply be his regular funny self and would most likely spend the entire procedure delivering jokes. However, did he do the entire opposite of what was expected of him? As a result of his expose of the dirty laundry of the entire industry, various individuals hurried to react. However, the moment that really got people talking was when Katt called Kevin out for being a person who was so concerned with power. Several years ago, Katt called him out when he admonished Kevin for pretending to be gay in a performance on Saturday Night Live. Therefore, this is not the first time that Katt was chastised Kevin for selling his soul for fame. There was a lot of talk in the early 2000s about black guys being obliged to wear gowns and wigs in order to be successful in Hollywood. Dave Chappelle, in an interview with a Hollywood Reporter in 2006, stoked the embers of these worries. An interview with Oprah Winfrey in which he released information about a period when he was working on a movie with Martin Lawrence and the producers attempted to pressure him into wearing a dress against his will. He exposed the information.
I was actually one of those comedians that said, "No, I wouldn't wear a dress. There's no way I would wear a dress." And then when proposed with the opportunity,
in spite of the fact that he initially did not make an effort to laugh it off, Kevin made it very clear that he would never compromise his morals in order to wear a dress. One more brilliant comic, Dave Chappelle, mentioned that in the business they attempted to force him to wear a dress one time. On Saturday Night Live, not long after the Club Shay Shay interview, Kevin made an appearance in a spoof wearing a dress and wig with complete lack of shame. Neither Kevin nor anyone else was having any trouble making ends meet. As a matter of fact, he was doing admirably for himself. Then again, this Saturday Night Live spoof, his career took off and he was cast in even more significant films. It is quite probable that he was never averse to wearing that outfit in the first place, and that this was probably within his own personal limitations. there is a considerable possibility that this was the case. Many people, on the other hand, believe that he did it in order to appease the most powerful people in the industry because he wanted to increase his popularity and influence with them. Katt was then asked what he thought about Kevin wearing a dress, and he reacted by saying that it was not Kevin's fault because as a part of a long line of black guys, he was obligated to wear a dress in order to ascend to a greater degree of popularity. This was in response to the question of what he felt about Kevin wearing a dress during the event. In response, Katt stated that Kevin was not to blame for the situation. Following his destiny was all that was required of Kevin in order to achieve his goal of being a movie star. As a result of the fact that there is a long line of people who may be seen wearing dresses before Kevin, Kevin does not need to be concerned about what others are going to say about him wearing a dress at the end of the day. For a very long time, people have been circulating the idea that Kevin is nothing more than a factory worker who was forced to join the corporation in order to replace Katt's function. This idea has been around for quite some time now. The conversation with Katt only served to enhance the worries that were already present. However, for a very long time, people have held the opinion that Kevin is nothing more than a plant from the business who was coerced into joining the organization in order to fill Katt's job. After the full Saturday Night Live sketch, these suspicions were even more intense. This is because at the same time that Kevin's career in Hollywood was beginning to take off, the media started to smear Katt's reputation by asserting that he was an addict. This assertion was later refuted by Katt in a violent outburst in the year 2016. Following this, Katt left social media for a while, but when he came back in 2018, he had even more to say. He accused Tiffany Haddish of being a power-hungry slave in an industrial plant. Despite the fact that Katt neglected to bring up Kevin during the interview, Kevin became agitated and chose to confront Katt when he and Tiffany were guests on The Breakfast Club. Kevin labeled Katt a failure, stating that the reason that Katt ain't where he needs to be in his career is because he chose to be crackhead instead of focusing on his career.
I'm still here, so no matter what you think about me, I'm still winning. It seems that we...
Once Katt disclosed that Kevin had sold his soul for fame and power, Kevin remained silent on social media until a few days ago. This was in response to the back and forth that had occurred between the two of them. Katt asserts that Kevin had made a deal with a number of influential people in the industry to assist him in getting his Hollywood career off the ground. Tiffany has only been seen at the Lab Factory in the 15 years that she has been working in Hollywood. No one in Hollywood has ever witnessed a sold-out Kevin Hart concert, with a line of people waiting to see him. He has never received a standing ovation at any comedy club, and he already had his deals before he arrived. Have we ever heard of a comedian who has been able to garner a standing ovation? It's true. That person was a member of the Black Comedy Club, and during his first year in Los Angeles, he had his own sitcom on network television. He also had his own movie called Soul Plane, which he was leading. No, we have never heard of that person or since that person. What do you suppose a plant is? It's possible that folks aren't knowledgeable about the meanings of these words. It was just recently that he completed his documentary with Chris Rock, in which he demonstrates that his entire comedic background had taken place on the East Coast. As a result, Katt was basically putting it all out there that he believes there is no way Kevin could have been able to ascend up in Hollywood so quickly without the assistance of the white elites fueling his career. Additionally, he made it abundantly apparent that in contrast to Kevin, he has never accepted any payments from higher-ups in the sector in exchange for being silent about particular situations. After then, Katt recalled the moment when he was discriminated against because he declined to take part in a scene in the film Friday After Next. It would appear that the producers thought the sequence would be funny. However, Katt declined to perform it because he could not fathom how someone acquiring SA could possibly be entertaining. Following the conclusion of the filming of the movie, Katt was placed on a blacklist. Do you think Katt Williams will back down anytime soon? Fans are definitely on his side, so that might not be an option anytime soon. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Also, be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification button to be the first to know when the next video is up.